Thank you very much. My name is Chuck Donovan. That's D-O-N-O-V-A-N. You can Google me and all those good online things to find out what I'm like. I was a Marine Corps officer for 7 years. I served as a fighter attack pilot. I wanted to make a distinction here. It was a non-combat tour, and I want to honor those who served in combat. After the Marines, I got a job with the airlines. I've been an airline pilot for 23 years. In fact, just last week, I commanded the flight to Tokyo, Japan, and back. I'm used to making decisions as a leader in a no-nonsense world. Is there any question that there is plenty of nonsense in Washington, D.C.? Our debt is out of control. It is going to destroy us. We are going to deal with it, or it is going to deal with us. Our Constitution. I just heard a great quote on the Constitution. Why let a little thing like the Constitution get in the way of taking care of the public? I disagree with that quote by FDR. I swore to uphold and defend the Constitution when I was 19 years old. I still hold that quote dear. I think we ought to follow it, and I think that some of that nonsense up there, they're not following it. Last thing I want to mention is freedom. Freedom is not a policy decision to a libertarian. Freedom is the foundation of our ethics and our morality. It is an either-or proposition. You will have it, or you will lose everything. That's the theory. Let's try a little practical application. The TARP, or bailout, bridge to nowhere, an $18 million monument to Ted Kennedy, all came out of your tax money. All voted yes by John Isakson. I want you to understand, not only would I have voted no, but a Libertarian Congress would have never considered that spending at all.
Thank you. You began doing this. Please assess Mr. Isakson's performance and tell us specifically what you will do differently and better.
Well, I mentioned the spending issues, and spending is my primary concern. He also voted for No Child Left Behind. For a Libertarian, that says that he does not trust parents, he does not trust Georgia schools, he trusts a centrally controlled government making decisions from Washington, D.C. I want you to look around and think about all the people you are seeing who are working harder and harder, getting behinder and behinder. They are running out of money before they run out of month. And the reason for that is the spending and the inflation and the regulation in Washington, D.C. has gone out of control. I will fight to reduce regulation and extend regulation. I will not be a shill for corporations and PACs. I will not be beholden to my campaign contributors. I will be beholden to the Constitution and to the ideals of liberty.
What's your philosophy on the Senate's role in the appointments by the presidential part of government? Well, you know, like judges and some of the different officials that the president appoints and the consent of the Senate.
Well, the consent of the Senate, we're talking about what, treaties and Supreme Court judges. Is that your question?
I thought the Senate also confirmed a lot of the district court judges and that sort of thing as well.
And presidential appointees from department heads and policy, things like Attorney General. Let's see, Johnny voted yes for Eric Holder. I would have voted no for Eric Holder. Johnny voted yes for Cass Sunstein. I would have voted against Cass Sunstein. As far as the Supreme Court judges, that really is a one-at-a-time decision to make. Each one needs to be considered on their record. Again, as I said, I think the Constitution is the binding document. It is the guiding document, and I would look to see just how closely, how literally the judge has interpreted law in the past along the lines of the Constitution. There are really only three choices when it comes to the Constitution. You can follow it literally as closely as you can. You can increase the size of government, or you can decrease the size of government. When you decrease the size of government, or make that error on the side of liberty, you give people more freedom. When you increase the size of government, you get more nonsense.
All right, thank you very much. All All right, our next candidate is for U.S. Senate is